So let's jump right in and talk about a massive shift in the workplace. We're going to break down how you lead a team that, you might not see in person for days or even weeks at a time. We're going to explore how the best leaders are really thriving in this new world and what you can do to guide your team effectively.
And this is the big question, isn't it? It's what keeps so many managers up at night. That old style of management by walking around, well, that's pretty much a thing of the past. So the real challenge is, how do you build that trust? How do you drive results and foster a real team culture when your people are spread out all over the place?
Remote and hybrid work isn't just some temporary trend. It's here to stay. It's just how business is done now. So the goal isn't just to survive in this new environment, it's to actually excel. And that means leadership itself has to evolve in a pretty fundamental way.
Okay, so to really get a handle on this new reality, we have to get honest about the challenges that come with it. Let's start by looking at some of the most common hurdles that remote and hybrid teams are facing all the time.
When you dig into it, the biggest challenges of remote work are all deeply human. I mean, without those spontaneous chats by the coffee machine or in the hallway, it's so easy for people to start feeling isolated. That team bond can start to weaken, and even simple collaboration can turn into a huge headache. These are the exact pain points that great leadership has to solve.
So what's the answer? Well, it's not some single magic bullet. It's really more like a practical, modern toolkit that every leader needs today. Let's dive into the essential pieces that build a really strong foundation for success.
These three things right here, they're the pillars holding up every successful remote team. First, you absolutely need crystal clear expectations, because ambiguity is the enemy when people are working on their own. Second, you have to have a consistent, predictable rhythm for communication. That becomes the lifeblood of the team. And third, you need the right tech to bridge that physical distance.
And when we say collaborative tech, what are we really talking about? Well, think of these as the digital bridges that hold your team together. They're way more than just software. They are your virtual office. Video platforms become your meeting rooms, cloud docs become your whiteboards, and project management tools give everyone that shared sense of progress. But here's the thing. Tools are only half of the story. Technology can enable connection, but it doesn't just create culture out of thin air. The absolute best leaders are the ones who intentionally design a culture that can thrive remotely. And that means we have to rethink how we even think about work itself.
This comparison really nails that shift. The old way of doing things basically said, if you're physically present, you must be productive. The new model, it's built on trust and autonomy. It's a huge move away from counting the hours someone has clocked in to focusing on the actual quality of the work they produce. It's the difference between supervising and truly empowering.
Now, building this kind of culture takes real, consistent effort. Leaders have to actively fight against proximity bias. Making sure that remote employees get the same big opportunities as people in the office. Creating that sense of belonging might mean setting up virtual coffee chats that have nothing to do with work. And regular structured feedback, that becomes totally non-negotiable when you can't do those casual check-ins anymore.
All right, all of this sounds great in theory, but does it actually work in practice, especially at a massive scale? Well, the answer is a huge yes. Let's take a look at how one of the biggest companies in the world, Microsoft, has put these exact principles into action.
What Microsoft has done is really a masterclass in how all these pieces fit together. They don't just offer flexibility, they pair it with accountability, using tools like Teams, which allows their global teams to work together seamlessly. They don't just talk about empowerment, they give people real autonomy with platforms like SharePoint. And that people-centric focus isn't just a buzzword, it's built into their process with regular feedback, which leads directly to a better work-life balance for their people.
By putting all of these elements together so well, Microsoft hasn't just adapted. They've basically created a blueprint for the future of work. Their success really proves that with the right mindset and the right tools, any company can build a super productive, engaged, and balanced team no matter where they're located.
So as we wrap up, I want to leave you with this one thought. Forget about trying to do a complete overhaul all at once. Just think, what is one small, simple change you can make this week to help create a stronger sense of belonging on your team? Because at the end of the day, that genuine connection, well, that's the glue that holds any modern team together.